Okay, I really need to learn how to do this. All right, so I was up there, now I'm here. Now I found another one. There's the hole. Post was there, but it's been moved back. I'm gonna try and pause it and then do it again. Pause. Okay, I think I did this right. See if I can zoom in on this. Was there somewhere about it? Oh, that's it. Okay, I'll just stand still. Let's see if I can do it this way. Actually, if I put the glasses on that enable me to see, that's probably better. Of course, it was such a good idea to come out here when it's ridiculously dark. Yeah. There's the vinyl. Post. There's where it was. And they cut it down. Okay, pausing again. And this is a good shot with me walking on the eaves vent towards my house. You can see the blockage. That thing they put up to prevent anyone from going further down the road. And to have everything back up and flood my property. I'll just walk towards it. Just for a good view of it. Keeping in mind they just, a few days ago, cut these sable palms. I zoned out. Forgot what I was doing. Yep. And apparently some woman came out from the engineering department and got angry because of this little trench to try to get the water to go away from our properties. Yeah, she got angry about it. Can you imagine that? I mean, I didn't talk to her. My neighbor did. I had no idea she was coming out. But I'm like thinking to myself, bitch, if you think you're angry, think about how I feel. I've got the videos to show it. And we also dug up the cover to the, I don't know, the water main or something like that. But you can see how much lower it is. Like, it's both the county and the trailer park. They've illegally graded this road to slope back towards my property, back towards 104th, instead of sloping out towards Lake Seminole and where all their drainage is, that for, I don't know, millions of dollars, I think it's like $1 billion, that the county on their dime is putting in for them. So it used to be private all of these drainages and sewers were private. But the county has now coughed up billions of dollars to put utility services in for them, while they let me literally drown. And then you can see that the county has let this dirt at the end of the road on their easement build up, so the water just comes back down. It can't go anywhere. There's nowhere for it to go. There's just nowhere for it to go. And then he dug that out, just trying to get the land low enough that the water can flow. But of course this is here. That's why he dug that, because they poured cement over here and it's raised, and the water just won't go anywhere. So I figured if it would go this way or this way, that's something at least. As they did twice last year, or was that 2021? I don't know, I have the paperwork on it. Laid asphalt, and about a week later they came out and poured more, so that it is a lip. That, again, it's another impediment to water flow. The surface water, sorry. Yeah, another impediment to the water flow. I mean, I did take one of these out, the rebar, to stop the, there's one, there's another one, to stop all of this pine needles and palm tree branches and all of that from clogging. And there's rebar. There's rebar on the other side. Oh yeah. And then this just goes up. And water can't get through there. And they did clean this out a little bit, not that much, but that grass, that land is higher than this. The water can't go anywhere. It's just, oh, here's the other. I forgot, I couldn't get a good video of that, but here's the other brick wall on the other side. It used to be all the way across, but again, in 2005, the county made them remove it, as well as their fence. That was 3 feet onto my property. I have that video too, showing the post. That's what they keep doing. That's why I videotaped the old posts from this vinyl fence, and they had to push it back. I mean, the county keeps telling them, you're encroaching on private property or county property, and they keep just moving the fence back, and they don't get into any trouble. But I got arrested for a tree that fell in my backyard after 4 hurricanes in 2004. And then they told me to paint my house in 2013, I think it was, 12, I don't know. And so I did, because the judge said adjudication withheld, paint the house. I did. Code enforcement came out, oh good, you painted the house. And there was fees and fines. I paid those, but they went ahead and charged me those fees and fines. even though they'd been paid. They just pretended like they hadn't. And they sent me to a collection agency, which I'm still with, because I'm not paying them again. For what? I pay taxes, my property taxes. And what happens? I fled. And the county does nothing for me. They don't maintain this easement. We do. We all come out and mow it. They don't maintain that bit of land between the two fences. I'm sure that this impedes the water flow a lot as well. They don't maintain this. I don't know what I'm paying taxes for. I really don't. And I'm at the point where something needs to be done about it, or I'm gonna lose it. I don't know who else would have been as patient as I've been. 20 years I've been waiting for them to fix this. I mean, it's been longer than that. When they built this trailer park in 1970, that was when my father tried to get the county to get them to fix the grading so that we wouldn't flood. But I guess, I don't know, I guess 53 years or 57 years is just, you know, it's a blink of an eye to the county. It's not that big of a deal. It's only been 57 years that you've been flooding, that we flooded your property. It's not a big deal. You know, a little more patience. I swear, my dad died in 1985 before they did anything, before they came out and fixed this. And I'm at the point now to where I'm thinking, well, I'm just gonna die too. And there's no way that this house could go on the market. Just not gonna, I have to sell it for such a loss. I don't know if you can see the dents in my yard from where the water just sits. And collapses. Try to get a good shot of it. It's like rolling hills. And try to mow this. Oh my God, it's such a workout. Ugh. Yeah, I can't tell if this is coming across. But yeah, I just stepped down into it. It's like a ditch. So anyway, this engineer lady, she comes out, or Department of Engineering. I doubt she's an engineer. Didn't seem bright. Based on what my neighbor told me about her. So they want to put a swale, which is, I guess, some sort of ditch with, over here on the easement, it's like rocks and plants, vegetation, stuff like that. There's a problem with that. Okay, make everybody dizzy. Just past, I've got to put my other glasses on. Okay, just past the pine tree. That's where it opens up and becomes a 2-lane road for the rest of the way down to Seminole Boulevard. But as you can see, it then becomes a 1-lane road. So if I walk up and I turn around, you can see this is 1 lane. I mean, all we can do is back out. That's it. Two cars can't get down this street unless someone drives on the easement. So as I'm backing out and driving away, and someone else is coming down the road, with this swale over here. This whole thing is going to be a swale. A big ditch with rocks and trees and vegetation and plants and all of that. Okay? That's what this is going to be. So it's one lane, and I have about 4 neighbors that I have to drive past to get to the 2 lane, which is just past the big pine tree down there. Where am I going to go? Drive up in my neighbors' yards, which I'm sure they're not going to be happy about? Or do I put my car in the ditch, in the swale? I mean, tell me what I'm supposed to do. And then, especially when it rains, there's just no possible way. If I do go into someone's yard, I'm gonna get stuck because it's just mud. I mean, we sink down into the yards. So how is this gonna work? Lady in engineering at Pinellas County, how's that gonna work? Explain that to me. How am I gonna, I mean, we're nose to nose, me and another car, it's trying to get, to their house. One has to throw it in reverse, back out, maybe hit somebody's kid who's out here playing, somebody walking their dog. I mean, you're just creating dangers where they don't need to be. Just, if you're gonna pay billions of dollars for these people who have just ruined the view of the lake, cut down all the pine hammock that was over here. I have pictures, don't worry. I have pictures of what it used to look like. I mean, just this nasty place. All right, the billions that you're spending on their private sewers and drainage, wastewater, diverting the rainwater away so that they don't flood, okay? The billions you're spending on them, you can't fix the drainage here. You can't tie in to what you're spending billions on. You can't tie into that. You can't grade the street so that it flows properly. You can't tell them to grade, and that's the thing, is the county will be resurfacing the roads. I guarantee you, they're gonna grade them so that they come towards me. It grades so the water comes this way towards me. And then from Seminole Boulevard to here, it's sloped. That's the grade, is a slope. So the water all comes down here. They've sloped from Seminole Lake down. So guess what? I'm in a bowl. And with a swale over here on a 1 lane, I'm not gonna be able to get my car out if someone's coming down the road. We're gonna have to play chicken. So stupid. Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do you know how many times I replaced this mailbox? And I like absolutely refuse to do it again. And it's why we have these. Here are mine. I mowed the lawn. It's because people come down here and they see this and they don't realize it's a dead end road. So what do? They drive up in my yard. And when it's raining, sometimes they get stuck. But they tear ruts in my yard. And then mowing the lawn is that much harder because I have to go over the ruts. So yeah, they drive up in my yard, back out, and then continue going down the street. Or, because some people use their brain, they drive on the easement and do a turnaround. That's the other thing I was reading in the county codes and roads and all of that. You have to have a turnaround if it's a dead end. This is a single lane. I mean, that's given that it's a 2-lane. This is a single lane. They have to put in a turnaround. When people say, oh, oops, it's dead end, they need a way to turn around to get out. But what they do now is they use our yards. And we have to put up these reflectors to let them know these are our yards. Please don't drive in our yard. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This woman is saying that on a 1-lane road. Oh, and she also said that, well, when the trailer park was built, the building codes were different then, and grading was different then, and they didn't have to grade it so that the water didn't come and flood properties. Are you kidding me? There was no point in time in which you were allowed to grade in such a way that you cause property damage and flooding to another person's house. No point in history. There is the common enemy, meaning that water is a common enemy, blah, 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 blah. I get that. But that means that everybody has to do their part to take care of the water, to make sure it doesn't back up and flood someone else. It doesn't mean, oh, well, you're standing there in 2.5 feet of water and you can't back out of your house because your car will get flooded, and that's a good 14 grand right there, and your bedrooms get flooded, and I can't fix those. I can't tear the drywall out and fix it until they fix theirs. You can't use your bedrooms. You know, hey, too bad, so sad. There's nothing that said that you're allowed to do that. Even in common enemy, nothing says you're allowed to do that. God, I mean, could we get some gutters? Could we get just, you know, a drain? Like, just put a drain right here. Tie it in to the system so that it just flows into the wastewater, because that's what wastewater is. It's not sewer water, it's wastewater. That means that all of the pollutants and everything that comes in off of Seminole Boulevard, gas, dirt, petroleum, whatever, goes into that, and then ultimately it becomes reclaimed water. It goes to the reclaimed stations. It doesn't, that we don't want it to go into Lake Seminole. I just put a gutter in, tie in to its, I mean, here, like, stupid lady from Pinellas County Engineering Department, you moron. Okay, I see that pipe right there? That's the pipe, okay? So it's right there, there's the pipe, okay? And so, here's me. I mean, you're spending billions. I mean, how much is it gonna cost to get some more of that plastic friggin' pipe and just put a drain right here and then run it across under the fence and tie it in so that the water that floods me now will get taken away to the wastewater facility for to be reclaimed. How hard is that? I mean, really? You want to dig this up and build a swale on a 1-lane roadway on the dead end that I'm the last house on, so that I back out, someone's coming down the street, and I can't go. I have to back all the way back to my house, pull in my driveway. I guarantee you that one of these people in this trailer park or someone on the street is going to end up in that swale. They're just going to drive straight into it. And the other thing is, if you put a swale over here, so no one can, because there's no turnaround. So like in a situation where we're playing chicken, we're at loggerheads, usually we just go onto the easement if it's not raining. If it's raining, then we're gonna get stuck, so we don't do that. But if it's not raining, we just go around using the easement. with a swale there, I'm not gonna be able to do that anymore. So I guess we are SOL when it comes to ordering DoorDash or Uber Eats or having anything delivered via Amazon or whatever. And also our mail. The person who brings our mail is constantly trying to do like these crazy little 3-point turns, trying to get back out again after they've delivered our mail. And usually what they do, if they're good at it, depends on what driver, they will just turn in up there, just beyond that pine tree, and they will back all the way down the road. Because remember, they sit on the right side of their vehicle, so they can open up your mailbox, stick your mail in, close your box, and keep going. Because it's one lane, they will back all the way up. That's the good drivers. The ones who are not so good, they come down and realize, oh, oops. And they end up stopping the mail truck and walking over from the right side of the vehicle to put the mail in the mailbox. But regardless, even though they do get the mail in the mailbox, there have been a lot of times where we have not gotten our mail and we've had to go down to the post office and get our mail because of the fact they don't want to come down here. And when it's raining, you don't get your mail. They're not coming down. They're not flooding their vehicles. The US government vehicles, just to give you your mail in a flood. So a lot of times what they have to do is they have to back up, and if they think they're going to get stuck, they just do that little turn thing where eventually they're pointed in the right direction and they can get out of here again. Or, you know, pull up into my non-driveway, because why would I put a driveway in? It floods. Why would I do that? I'm not doing it. So, this has been a headache to get mail. It is going to get so much worse by putting in a swale over here, because now anyone who comes down this dinky little 1-lane roadway, that, you know, here's the other thing. With the property taxes that I pay, you would think that they could cough up for some light poles. Okay, how about that? How about some lighting down here? That would be fantastic. It's dark. My phone is really good. It's super good. I have it on bright. Yeah. That's what it looks like. So they couldn't, there's something in that tree and it's completely going to give me a heart attack. But anyway, so this is what it's like right now. Man, mosquitoes are biting me and I don't want to get dengue fever. I just heard that that's happening. That's a thing. Ow, mosquito, stop. So, yeah, if they could just cough up for some street lights, where we can have our street lit up. I mean, you see, here in the trailer park, oh, look at that. It's bright as day in there. Yeah, they've got street lights. All right. Not us. And they have not, for all of these years, paid into the utility system. Because we're on the utility system, you know what I pay a month? I pay about $130 a month just for the sewers. On top of my water bill. My water bill is like $40 to $60 a month. It's not that bad. The sewer. It's the sewer that I am spending a king's ransom for, and they can't tie me into it so I don't flood. Unflippin' believable. Oh my God. All right, I can't talk about it anymore because, yeah, I gotta go calm down.